Consumers ought to know who makes their clothes. You know, we want to know where our food comes from. It shouldn't be that different with fashion. We have a right to know that what we put on our bodies is made in dignity and not in misery.
In April 2013, the Rana Plaza, an 8-story factory complex on the outskirts of Dhaka, Bangladesh, collapsed, crushing 1,138 people to death and injuring about 2,500. 90% of the workers were women. That's when Fashion Revolution was born.
The whole community was shocked. We created this concept, this not one event every year to commemorate. That's not what we wanted. We wanted a very positive campaign to, really make some change.
Orsola de Castro is one of the co-founders of the Fashion Revolution, a global movement aimed at bringing people and organizations together to radically change the way our clothes are sourced, produced, and consumed.
Everyone is talking about sustainability in the fashion industry. I can see it from the young brands that are emerging right now to the way that the big brands are beginning to communicate. So I think that brands have become aware that the customers, their own customers, are beginning to ask those questions, and therefore they need to quickly find out their answers.
There are roughly 40 million garment workers in the world today, and 34 million of all garment workers are women. A study by Oxfam found that it takes just 4 days for a CEO from one of the top 5 global fashion brands to earn what a Bangladeshi garment worker will earn in her lifetime. In the US, it takes slightly over 1 working day for a CEO to earn what an ordinary worker makes in 1 year.
Where there is demand, there's movement, so particularly the very, very big businesses, they have the monetary power to change and to invest. And in fact, we are seeing some great investment from H&M to Zara to Puma to Gap, Adidas, Levi's. These brands are seriously investing, particularly when it comes to transparency. But transparency is only really the first step. It is, after all, about public disclosure. It doesn't necessarily lead to best practice.
Global clothing production has more than doubled since 2000. More than 15 million tons of used textile waste is generated each year in the United States.
It's quantity that, in the end, ruins it all, because we can't produce this much. This is not sustainable. We are buying more but wearing less, meaning that we wash, we treat things with very little care, and we throw them away. There is very little technology at the moment to actually recycle clothing into the type of fibre that can go back into clothes making. So most clothes are downcycled, so they're becoming, car insulation or mattress filling. But to be honest, the majority is shipped abroad, where it's creating huge problems in developing countries because they don't want our unloved clothes, there's too much. But it is the industry that most signifies who we are as people. I think we're the only animal that wears clothes. They are our chosen skin. The clothes that we wear often represents the people that we are. We inhabit them. And so, at least for me, I want my clothes to be made not just with quality, but I want to afford quality of life to the person that made my clothing.